Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. I wanted to come to you today with a book chat. I recently had finished John Grisham's newest book, Sooley. I found it to be really fun to read. I say fun, but there were times it was not fun because John Grisham is tackling a lot of reality with this book. This isn't just a sports book, and let me get into that. This is a new release. This came out in, I think it was late April 24th, 25th, something like that. And it's from Doubleday out of New York, so it's a 2021 book. And it is 300 and... what was it? It is 355 pages. Now, if you're a fan of John Grisham, you know John Grisham does lawyer suspense books, and I really enjoy those. He's one of my favorite authors. His stuff reads really fast. But if you're a fan of John Grisham, you know that he has also dipped into the sports world. He's got a couple of football books. He's got a baseball book. He wanted to try to tackle basketball, and so this latest book is all about basketball. And our main character, Samuel Suleiman, is from South Sudan, and he is from a civil war torn country that is constantly fighting, constantly at war. And they have a basketball coach who has come around, and he wants to put together a national team that's going to travel to America to play some basketball, and anybody that shows any promise is going to get a shot at a college scholarship. So all the boys that are playing are upper high school age. Suleiman is, 17, 18, right in there. I think he's 17 maybe. And again, he's from South Sudan. He's very raw. His talent, you could see flashes of it. He's extremely fast. He can jump really, really high. He can jump through the ceiling, jump through the roof, as they say in the book. And but as far as dribbling, it's raw. As far as shooting, it's very raw. He does not make a whole lot of his shots. He's supposed to be a point guard to start with, and it doesn't look real good. So he starts out, and he's about 6'2", and he's, 180 pounds, I believe. And so he's not as far as a physical specimen, he's not huge, but he's growing. He's 6'2" and still growing. And so anyway, he goes on this national team, and as he's away playing basketball, not really turning very many heads to start with, back home, the Civil War breaks out again, and there's some rebels that attack his village that he lives in. They end up burning his parents' house to the ground, and his dad ends up dying in this attack. The rest of his family, his mom and his brothers, sisters, end up having to go to a refugee camp. They end up going to Uganda eventually, and one sister ends up disappearing, and people aren't sure exactly. They kind of understand probably what happened to her, but there's nothing that says exactly what happens to her. And Samuel is going to find out about this as he's in this basketball tournament, and so it's a lot of stress for a young man to deal with. And so as he's in this basketball tournament, one of the things that his coach finds is that Samuel, who is a little bit, I don't want to call him a loner because he makes friends easy. He's always got a smile on his face, super, super good kid. But, they find him in the gym all the time, and he works and works and works. He's got a great work ethic. And so eventually what we find is that his work ethic is going to cause coaches to take chances on him. And his basketball coach is going to take a huge chance, and he's going to go to North Carolina Central, which is the other school near Duke. And he's going to talk to, the coach is going to talk to one of his coaching friends, and he's going to say, you need to take a chance on this kid. This kid needs a chance. All this stuff's going on back home, and you could give him a free ride scholarship to not only help him personally, but it would also probably help your program eventually in the future. He's not going to help you right off the get-go, but, in the future. And so this coach from North Carolina Central takes a chance on him, gets him a full ride scholarship. They get him a job on campus. And so Samuel ends up beginning to send money back home. It's not a lot, but back home it's a lot. And so he gets to talk to his parents. He gets it arranged at the refugee camp that one of the nurses there has a cell phone, and she allows him to talk to his mom and his family every Wednesday. So every Wednesday he gets to talk, and it's bittersweet because, yay, we get to talk to the family, but it's sad because he can't go see his family. And he ends up finding out he can't really go back home. And the best way to help his family is to try to get a degree, and then he can get his family, establish citizenship, and then bring his family back over as, I can't think of what it's called, but bring them over in an emergency. That's what he's going to try to do. And so basketball becomes his best hope, as he sees, because remember I said he's continuing to grow, and he's going to grow and grow, and he's going to grow like in a year. He's going to grow 6 more inches, and he's going to put on 40 to 50 pounds of muscle. He's going to hit the weight room big time. And so he becomes this big physical specimen, and he's in the gym every morning before everybody else gets in there, and he's shooting away. And so while other kids are going to parties, he's shooting. While other kids are going out to eat, he's shooting. And so, he puts in just an absolute ton of time in the gym. And he makes really good friends with his roommate. His roommate's family becomes kind of like a second family to him. They kind of take him in. And so what we find is North Carolina Central, halfway through the season, is got a terrible, terrible record. And they're losing a ton of games, and then they get nailed by injury. They get a kid who transfers out because of the losing. And so it opens up this wonderful opportunity for Samuel. And, of course, Samuel's acquired the nickname of, his last name's Suleiman, so he acquires this nickname of Sooley. And so the fans of North Carolina Central come to love Sooley. Sooley's always, he's got this laid-back side to him where he's always smiling, everything's happy-go-lucky, he's just glad to be there. But they find that Sooley becomes a long-range bomber. He can hit from way out, like towards half court on a regular basis. And we find that he's scoring 30 points, around 30 points a game, 40 points a game by the time they get to the tournament. And they are going to end up winning their way into the NCAA tournament. And just some wonderful things happen to Sooley. I don't want to tell too much because I don't want to spoil it, but I do want to talk about a couple of themes that John Grisham hits on in this book that are very worth reading about. This idea that America is the land of opportunity, and Sooley's going to take advantage of these opportunities. And but we also see that the land of opportunity not only offers good opportunities, but bad opportunities also show up. And we're going to see the negative side of becoming a star in college athletics. And Sooley's going to see both sides of this, where, not only do you get a huge fan base, but this, you start finding that people want you to go to parties. People want you to try marijuana. People want you to try other drugs. People want you to drink beer. The girls flock because, this might be their opportunity to, take advantage of the money he's possibly going to make at the next level. And Sooley does a really good job for the most part of, steering away from all of that. And so we find ourselves really wanting to root for Sooley. He's that character that everybody loves, that everybody wants to see succeed. And Grisham also hits on this idea of, our land of opportunity versus other countries and their lack of opportunity. This rich versus poor, developed nation versus third world nation. And he does a really good job of showing how sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, Americans are very, very spoiled when we look at the overall, world scene. And it's very, very sad. And Grisham does a great job of depicting United States versus South Sudan, and just how, you go into the closet of an American and you see tons and tons of clothes, and you go to the closet of a South Sudanese person and you might see 2 pair of clothes, maybe. And, shoes versus no shoes, and, just stuff like that. A beautiful stadium or arena, an arena that you could play in versus a outdoor dirt floor that you're playing on in South Sudan. Just a wealth of opportunities in one and not so much in the other. And, the rich versus poor aspect is hit big time in this. And so, anyway, I really enjoyed reading this book. I don't want to tell a bunch because I don't want to spoil it. It was a very fast read, just like all of Grisham's books are. I'd highly recommend you to go check this out. It becomes more than a basketball novel, and I really liked that aspect of the book. BookTube, if you're looking for a quick weekend read, something that's just calming, relaxing, something that's a fun getaway, try John Grisham's new book, Sooley. I give it probably about a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 stars, right in there. So I would highly recommend it. So go ahead and go check this book out at your nearest bookstore, or find it online, or go to your local library. So until next time, BookTube, happy reading.